So there's definitely a difference between wireframing for developers versus wireframing for web designers. And even though it's like in the same world, there's a difference and you should probably know about it.
Welcome to Suitcase Coder, the podcast. I'm Laura, and I host this podcast where I track my journey from joining a coding bootcamp to becoming a remote developer. My ultimate goal in life is to travel the world and see as many countries as I can, but for now, I'm sharing what I've learned so far to hopefully help and inspire future techies, freelancers, and digital nomads. Thanks for tuning in, and let's get started.
Can we just take a really quick second and talk about the importance of wireframing when it comes to both software development as like back-end functionality, coding related stuff, but also web design? I think it's really crucial to start with a wireframe as a base before starting anything else. And I didn't really write anything down for this, but I know I want to talk about it because I tell all of my students the importance of it almost every single class, and it's something that I bring up a lot. And it's something that I try to do every single time I plan on something new. Obviously, I'm a huge notebook and pens kind of person, so I do a lot of my wireframing on paper and pen or pencil, but there's a ton of tools that are free that you guys can use in order to create either super extended and complex or very simple wireframes. Let me just start with the obvious, like wireframing for web design. If you have a website that you're trying to design and build the layout for, even if you're coding it using, HTML and CSS, well, especially for coding it, and you don't have like a designer on hand, you're not working directly with the designer, and you're not like the best designer, but I believe that having a layout, a wireframe for how you want your website to generally look like, I think is a really great starting point. And the reason why is because you don't have to think about it when you go code it in HTML. You just have to kind of copy it over and translate boxes and X's into divs and containers and elements. And so to that point, I want to say that wireframes, the purpose of wireframes is to give you a general layout of what's going to happen. It's not to go super in depth. You can go very, very in depth with wireframing, but it doesn't have to be. So the typical wireframe does use something like boxes for certain elements or X's, I think, for images, and you can do like heading text, like literally when you want a header text on your website, you would write out header, and then for paragraph you can either write like lorem ipsum to see how it would look, or you could just write lines, like replace all the text because you don't know what that content is going to be yet. Content usually typically kind of comes last in building a website, and so you want to build it out and just replace it with lines. So you want to like literally simplify your entire website into boxes, X's, and lines, and rectangles and squares. Another thing to point out is if you do like wireframe a lot, whether it's design or software development, which we'll get into in a second, but either one, I think it's crucial to have some kind of template for yourself, so you know that, especially if it's just you working on the project, you can always know that an X is going to mean an image, a rectangle is going to mean some kind of element, a block element, and you can use that same template and as a reference point every time you go out and build a wireframe. And the more you build, like the more you put this into your process for creating websites, I think the easier it gets, and you don't have to like reference back to, oh, how do I say that I want to have some kind of paragraph here? Yeah, I think it also is a good starting point because it lets you know how much information or how much content might take up a space. You can deal with like margin and padding and all that generally, and then have a general idea of how you want that to be when you go about building the website. Oh, also with like web design, if you are working with a designer or if it's just you and you're working directly with a client, having some kind of wireframe is something that you can present to your clients before even starting the website and have them make adjustments to the wireframe rather than to your code, because going back and fixing and trying to replace code is way more complicated and takes a lot more time than just redrawing a couple boxes on a website or on a piece of paper. So it's something that you can use to either present to the clients or to present to a designer, other people on your team, and show them what you plan on building as far as the website or the project goes. And that way you guys can edit just that and not have to go back and edit like major code. Obviously there's going to be some changes to the code. That's just natural when working on a project. But if you try to get all of those changes out from the beginning of a project, then it will make your life easier and save you a bunch of. And now onto what I talk about mostly in my class when I'm teaching coding, and this goes from like HTML to when you're starting your first web application using React and JavaScript. You want to make sure that you wireframe, and this is going to look a little bit differently, but you wireframe something before getting into the development of a project. So when you wireframe something for a more advanced like coding project, and it's not just a static website, you're going to have to plan out a lot more of how the functionality of your website actually works, especially for web apps where you have, clicks of buttons leading to something displaying or not displaying, or users information coming in and outputting something else. So there's a lot more functionality and a lot more steps going on behind the scenes when building out a web app, for example. And so to have a wireframe, whether in words or also I like to draw everything out, like I said, in pen and paper. So like if I'm building an app, or if I have an idea for an app, I'll draw everything out and I'll split it up by different screens. So let's say they log in, that's one screen, and I'll wireframe like 2 input boxes for a username, a password, and then they sign in, right? And then in between there's I put like a box, but it kind of shows like what happened in the background before the next screen appears. And what will be there is like it checks whether or not the user exists and whether or not the password matches that user if the user exists. So that's something that I can plan out, and I know that it's something that I'll have to code when building out this web app. But if I wireframe it and kind of write out every single step to the code before even touching any text editor, then I eliminate a lot of time trying to figure it out as I go, or even worse, trying to have to rewrite code that I've already written to fit some kind of thing that I didn't account for. Writing out what you are planning to do, what your app is trying to accomplish. And it's okay, so that's one thing, is when you're wireframing, you want to make sure that you're thinking about what the user is seeing. And so all the different possibilities that the user might encounter when visiting either your website or your web app, or any application really that you're building. And you want to make sure that you account for every potential step being taken. And so you can you can plan it out in a wireframe with a mix of images and text, and kind of like a step-by-step thing of what is going to happen when a user uses your app from beginning to end. So from like signing up as a user, to logging in as a user, to visiting their homepage, to actually interacting with your app, to logging out, and then logging back in. All of that should be broken down into an extensive yet simplified wireframe. And that way, when you do go and sit down and actually code out your project, you don't have to tackle the entire project at once. You can just tackle it one screen at a time, or one like wireframe section at a time. That way you don't get overwhelmed with the entirety of the project. You just tackle one step at a time. And that's kind of the purpose of wireframing, is to eliminate excessive stress and eliminate like too much time going back and trying to fix things or embed things or take things out that don't work. And that's it. That's my 2 cents about wireframing. It's not much, but I hope you found it helpful. If you've enjoyed this podcast or YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, please make sure to subscribe and leave a rating. That helps a ton. I don't think I have very many ratings, but if you want to be one of the first, then go ahead and leave a review as well. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you are watching on YouTube. And if you wireframe on your next project before getting started and it's not something that you originally did, then give me a shout out, and I'll give you a shout out on my Instagram or Twitter, however you'd want. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye. Bye.